Hello and welcome back to the Undiluted Podcast. This is episode 6, and we're here to discuss tonight, the implosion of the Golden State Warriors. And it's not just me, and we don't have Mike with us tonight, but there's me, JP, aka Mama There Goes That Man. I got that from Mark Jackson, if you're wondering. And I got a guest with me. His name is, some of you are familiar with him. Some of you are not. But he goes by the name of Clayton Von Cockenstein. Or is it Cockstein?
Von Cockenstein.
Cockenstein, okay.
Yes, my Jewish German heritage there. All legit.
I bet, man. So like I said, we're coming to you today to discuss the recent incidents that I'm sure everybody's heard about the heated altercation that Draymond Green and Kevin Durant had the other night. So, Clayton, you probably saw it live, or probably know a little bit more about it than me. I'm just seeing it everywhere on social media and saw the little clips and heard about things secondhand.
Right.
So basically, give us a rundown of what happened.
So basically, in their game against the Clippers there, they were tied at the end of regulation. A shot was missed on the Clippers end. Draymond rebounded the ball while Kevin was also going for the ball, and you saw Kevin motioning with his hands, the give me the ball pose. Draymond dribbles it up the court, trying to make a play of some sort, and instead it causes a turnover, and they lose in regulation. And then the way the story's gone, and from what I could just tell, Durant said, "You should have passed me the ball." Draymond Green responds with, "Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" We can cuss on this show, right? I'm so sorry.
Hey, yes, most def. Come on.
Sorry, it's
on Undiluted Podcast. No watered down shit, all raw.
I like going in raw too. But yeah, he said, "Who the fuck are you talking to? We won before you got here." Just really seemed like an overreaction on Draymond's part, and I kind of tuned away for a second, but you saw DeMarcus Cousins, of all people, trying to calm down Draymond. And you saw, I'm not a professional lip reader, but it looked like he was saying he's a bitch to me. And then,
whoa,
yeah, that's what, because DeMarcus was trying to calm down. Then you see Draymond's lips, and then DeMarcus, he has that face like, come on, man, we don't need to be doing all that. And then you have KD on the sideline, like he's beside himself too. He's so shaken up by this, and he's just like, at some point during the aftermath of the altercation, you just hear him mouth, "That's why I'm gone," or "That's why I'm leaving." I don't remember exactly what it was. And you have poor Klay Thompson there trying to play peacemaker as well, and it just seemed like a lot for a regular season game in November against the fucking Clippers.
Exactly. But wait a minute. One thing I'm stuck on is you said Draymond told this man, "We won before you got here." He's the fucking guy that recruited him in the parking lot after they lost to the damn Cavaliers.
Oh yeah,
finals.
Which makes this weird, but I just think I agree with you. Like I said, Draymond has always been upfront about. He called him in the parking lot after Game 7 of the finals, in which the Warriors choked away their 3-1 lead. He's the one. He called him, and
it was also his fault for getting suspended, even though some people say LeBron might have played politics and played a hand in that. But
ultimately, yes. LeBron baited him into doing something stupid, because that's what you can do with emotional ass niggas sometimes, is bait them into doing stupid shit. And Draymond got himself suspended for game 5 that he got himself suspended for. And once the Warriors lost game 5, they weren't going to win a game 6 in Cleveland. You saw them calls that Curry was getting. And then by the time it came to game 7, it was just too late. But that's another thing. So, yeah, he did recruit him. He's the one that got him there on the team. And the whole team flew out to the Hamptons to get Kevin Durant, mind you. It's just...
What was your initial reaction when you heard that Durant decided to sign with Golden State after losing to them in the playoffs while he was still with the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Well, okay. So because everybody has to remember, Golden State was trying to recruit Kevin Durant throughout that entire season. This wasn't just after losing to the Cavaliers. Draymond was the main factor. They were trying to recruit him all season because why not weaken your biggest competition in the West? Everybody just likes to make it seem like, well, they were afraid of LeBron. They couldn't beat LeBron, blah, 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 blah. I just looked at it as they were trying to weaken the strongest team, their strongest competition in the West. So basically what I feel like was when they lost the 3-1 lead, getting Durant went from being a luxury to a necessity, because when you choke on that biggest stage, you had the palm of history right in your hand, right? They had 73 wins. Steph Curry hit 402 threes. He had the best MVP season by a point guard we ever seen. Better than Magic, the best point guard MVP season that we've ever seen. And he fucked it all up. They fucked it all the way up.
And that's where the motto, if it ain't a ring, it don't mean a thing.
Exactly. And so Cleveland would have been in their head, so they needed something to give them that edge. So on the Durant side, did I love it that he went to the team that beat him? No, not really. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate him for it. I understood it, and I knew that he and Westbrook had been having problems. So he went to the situation that he obviously has fit very well in. So, like I said, did I love it? No, but
do you place it into the same category as LeBron James joining the Miami Heat in 2010?
It's a little worse. Like people just are completely try to absolve LeBron in 2010. Let's not forget, okay, this man, LeBron teamed up with Dwayne Wade, who was another top 5 player in the league, and Chris Bosh, who was another top, let's say, 15 player in the league, right? These motherfuckers threw a parade for themselves with LeBron that they would win not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, etc. Because he knew that he had created an easy way out, right? I'm just saying.
Exactly.
He took the easy way out. And so did Kevin Durant. LeBron set that precedent. If LeBron never goes to Miami, Kevin Durant probably never leaves OKC. You look to and every great player in NBA history, every transcendent player like LeBron is, will eventually have to face a consequence of something they inspired. So Kevin Durant going to Golden State was LeBron's karma.
Yeah, and I remember like yesterday when the Heat beat Oklahoma in the finals. Kevin Durant walked off crying, and everybody was, it's okay. And I could just see how hurt he was by losing, and I'm pretty sure he was thinking in the back of his mind, like, damn, we lost because of this dude formed a super team.
Yeah.
And that might have inspired him to make the move that he made.
Well, and let's not forget how that final started off too. Like, don't forget the fortunate call that went against Kevin Durant in Game 2. The Thunder were on the verge of going up 0-2 in that series. Like, that's like, people forget that, but ultimately Miami was just the better team down the stretch. Westbrook played like shit in Game 4. Remember, Magic called it the worst performance he'd ever seen by a point guard.
Damn.
Yeah, Magic said that, and James Harden played like trash the whole series, beginning his legacy of choking in the playoffs. But that's another topic for another day. So ultimately, and OKC just ran into shit luck with injuries and then the emerging superpower of Golden State. So just going back to Kevin Durant joining Golden State, to to begin with on July 4th, 2 years ago. Like I said, the one thing I will say about Kevin Durant that makes me even more okay with this move, that LeBron tried to play the villain his first year in Miami, and he screwed everything up. He let down his teammates when he forgot how to play basketball in the 2011 finals.
Yes,
And
he averaged a career low 17 points.
yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst for a series choke I've ever seen by a superstar for a series.
He performed better as a rookie.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
And he had Bruce Bowen guarding him. Like he couldn't even check Jason Terry and JJ Barea. Like he went from shutting down Derrick Rose in the conference final, and he couldn't even check Jason Terry. Like,
and you still have Deshaun Stevenson talking shit to this very day.
Oh, I would for sure. I would. But so yeah. But LeBron tried to play a villain his first year in Miami. What I will say about Kevin Durant that makes me a little more okay with this move and enjoy it more, and I do think Kevin Durant's the best player in the league. Kevin Durant is playing the villain role perfectly. Like he says a lot of shit online that he knows is going to get him flamed. He's always talking shit to fans and the burner accounts and everything. Like he just knows whether all of it's intentional or not. He just knows that he made a villainous move, and he's just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to embrace it. He's like, they're not going to give me the award and everything like that. LeBron was like, oh, tried to play the game out of anger. That's not how I play. And I want to be loved.
Wow.
And he's reading the Hunger Games before the games and everything like that. And I'm like, dude, okay, I've had enough.
He was reading the Hunger Games.
Yeah, remember 20? I believe it was 2012, going into the conference finals against Boston, or the finals against OKC. It was one of those series. The cameras were in the locker room. The niggas just on the floor, just reading the Hunger Games, because it was like hot movies at the time and everything. Like, what the fuck? Like, are we supposed to? I guess this is therapy. Okay.
I did not know about.
Yeah, I mean LeBron be on some shit, man. I'm just telling you, man.
But I give credit where, man. He his season with the Cavs. He played all 82 games, and they pretty much went through two entirely different fucking rosters, and he still got to the finals anyway. Even though they got their ass kicked by Golden State.
Are you talking about last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, yes, he did play all 82 games. He kind of had to because, let's face it, Kevin Love was going to be off. My issue with LeBron James last season is everybody. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but I just want to say everybody likes to give him an extreme amount of credit for last season. The dude blew his own MVP chances. Okay, let's not forget he pouted in December and January. He was just phoning it in, and you can just tell by his effort on the court. You can just tell when somebody's not giving it their all, and just when until the NBA, I believe, Adam Silver and the NBA called up Dan Gilbert and said, no, you got to fix this. And then all of a sudden, Cleveland trades pretty much damn near their entire roster. They get quote unquote reinvigorated. And, okay, so who exactly was supposed to be in LeBron's way to the finals this year? He's still the best player. Victor Oladipo and the Pacers? No, even though it was closer than it should have been. I give him all the credit in the world for having space in Toronto's head. I called a sweep even before that series started. DeRozan and Lowry are just weak up in the head. And then Boston without their two best players. What exactly was supposed to keep LeBron from getting to the finals this past year? I didn't see it. I didn't see it as some big accomplishment outside of the fact that, he's been to 8 straight finals. I didn't look at it as oh my God, this is like a championship in and of itself. No, I mean, look, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I see it that way as well. And listeners, we're talking so much about LeBron James because he plays a big factor in the past, future, and present of Kevin Durant. I mean, his decision in 2010 was the reason why Durant is even with Golden State, and I'm pretty sure you've heard the rumors about Kevin Durant possibly joining the Lakers and joining LeBron James. So, yeah, I mean, it could be it could be a thing, man. Even though I hate to see it, I probably would stop watching for a while if that happened.
I told you I didn't love Durant going to Golden State, right? You cannot.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot do that. I mean, look, he can do whatever he wants. He's a free agent. He cannot join LeBron James in Los Angeles. He cannot do that. He's never hidden it. He's always competed with LeBron James in and of itself. Remember the infamous Sports Illustrated quote, like, I'm tired of being number 2. I was number 2 in the draft. I'm considered the second best player now. I want to be number 1, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just like,
But he might look at it like this, though. He's beaten LeBron James 2 years in a row and won MVP in the finals, and they're still saying, no, you're number 2.
Him joining LeBron ain't going to help him any.
I'm saying he might look at it now as, fuck it, you never going to give me number 1 anyway, so I might as well just join this guy and win more.
He might, but I just think that he has, regardless of what the media says, I think he does have a rivalry in his head with LeBron James. And look at this decade, right? Look at this entire decade. Take a look back. How did this decade begin? It began with Kobe winning his last ring, and then Dirk. LeBron's won 3 championships. Steph Curry has won 3 championships, all at the expense of LeBron James, mind you. Kevin Durant has won both his championships at the direct expense of LeBron James. Let's say they three-peat this year, like many people expect them to. The decade ends with Curry having more championships and Durant and LeBron being tied for championships. So people will look back on this decade the same way that people like to go back and conveniently gloss over and forget some of Michael Jordan's stuff. They can look back on this decade and be like, well, you know, he did beat him twice, 2-1 and everything like that. But the reason I say he can't join LeBron is just like, you have this rivalry in your head with somebody. Like Magic Johnson could have teamed up with Dominique Wilkins and whoever, like nobody would have cared. You can't team up with Larry Bird and vice versa. Like, no, that is unacceptable.
And you can't team up with Isaiah or the bad boy Pistons. Like that would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, like I said, like imagine if like Jordan and Isaiah teamed up, like they still hate each other to this day. Like, no, there's some stuff you just cannot do. That is unacceptable. Like LeBron and Durant would be unacceptable, and not because it would be unfair to the league, because I think anybody can be beaten. I don't think there's any invincible team. I think anybody can be beaten. But, you know, look, fuck, if Anthony Davis, who allegedly thinks he's the best player in the world, if he wants to go join LeBron, okay, fine, he can do that. But, yeah, Kevin.
Right, because the Pelicans aren't a fucking threat to anybody.
No, they're not.
They're probably not even a threat to Duke University.
Hey, Zion might have something for AD. You never know. I don't know. People are saying that Anthony Davis is going to be the best player in the league this year. I'm not saying he's overrated, but he just won his first playoff series last year. I don't care that it's the West. It's basketball. It's basketball where, hell, he won his first playoff game last season. Fuck serious. He won his first playoff game last season. And that's what was that, 6 years? 6 years in the league, right? 6 years, right?
He's not even, to me, honestly, I mean, he stuffs the shit out of the stack chart, but he's not even better than Giannis. How do you say his name?
Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. He's not better than Greek.
That's a good debate to have. He right now, Greek Freak is looking like the better player. I've been very pleasantly surprised. He's going to have to show it in the playoffs again, mind you. But I just think,
and he's probably not better than Kawhi Leonard. I look at
Anthony Davis.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I say this. Because you got to look at this. The Claw, he won an MVP trophy while playing with Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, and he's not only great on offense but also when it comes to defense, and it leads to wins.
Yes.
This is not NBA 2K. No. These guys have these ridiculous stats and lose a ton of games.
Yeah.
So it means nothing.
And like we talked about on Facebook, we're growing numb to these stats already. Like, okay, yeah, somebody else just put up 44 and 15. Okay, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like man, I'm telling you, man, some of them old players rolling over in their graves watching this defense, alleged defense, I will say. But like
and then you saw Shannon Sharp giving LeBron a fucking hand job as usual, because LeBron dropped 44 points and had 10 rebounds and 9 assists or whatever, how many other rebounds he had. But it's like, come on, man.
You know, as a Broncos fan, I can never hate Shannon Sharp too badly. I will always love Shannon Sharp, and he is very entertaining. But that shit is embarrassing. A grown man like that, come on. You're not supposed to have, I mean, that's some, you know, the same way that I always thought that, what's the boxer's name? Adrian Broner, the guy who always wanted to be Floyd, had a borderline like homosexual infatuation with Floyd. I look at Shannon and go, what's going on here, bro? Like, what's really happening? I don't know. Like, he putting on the mask and everything, and he just,
the GOAT mask.
I'm not feeling that. Now, Nick Wright, I actually do believe would give LeBron a job if LeBron asked him. Like, hey, I'm Steph below the waist. Will you take care of that for me? Oh, sure thing, LeBron. You are better than Michael. So yeah.
I can't even deny that one. I think he would. Nick Wright. Yeah. If that people like to use the word a stan, he's a stan.
Oh, you should have seen it this morning. It was worse. Like him and Chris Carter, they had a segment at the end of First Things First leading into Undisputed, and they've already talked about this before. Who's the best scorer in NBA history? Now, months ago, Nick Wright had already said LeBron, but in the segment, he changed his answer to Jordan. And he's like, well, he did some things better than LeBron. And Chris Carter pressed him, was like, what did he do better? And he's like, well, yeah, he scored better than LeBron. That's it. But Chris Carter's like, no, he plays better defense. He's better, blah, blah, blah. And he just, we wouldn't even listen to it. And he's a stan. He's a fanboy. You can't, and if you look at his old tweets, he was putting Kevin Durant above LeBron years ago anyway. So you can't, it's a fucking work with that guy. I don't know. It may not be a work. Maybe something just, maybe he saw LeBron shirtless one day and he's like, you know what? That is the greatest fucking player I've ever seen. Find me some stats on this man. Mr. James, can you grab me a pillow? I need to get down on something for you.
Pretty much, man. But let's get back to the Warriors and Kevin Durant and Draymond. This guy, we saw this, the first season that they played together. Like, you could see a little foreshadowing. Like, there's just something about the way Draymond speaks to this man. You can see the body language. Like, you can see the heated altercations on the sideline, and just like, this is leading somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen that. I remember there was a game against Sacramento, I believe, where he famously was talking to him after the game. I don't know. Like Draymond, he's just like a lot of these late round draft picks in NBA history. He's just got this massive chip on his shoulder, and I don't know. He takes it on to Kevin Durant, maybe because he looks at maybe, and this is just me just throwing shit to the wind, like, because Kevin Durant was the number 2 pick. He was the best college player. I still don't know what the fuck Portland was thinking taking Greg Oden, but whatever. And like,
must have been smoking crack.
Yeah, like I said, Portland just has a history with injury-prone centers. Bill Walton, a Sam Bowie, fucking Brandon Roy, who's not a center, but unfortunately his knees went to shit, and Greg Oden. Like, they can't get that shit right at all. But yeah, like Draymond, maybe because Steph's a number 7 pick. Like Steph wasn't like this high prospect, even though he was great at Davidson. Clay was like number 11. So Draymond
and the fucking Knicks. I feel for the Knicks fans. Like they. How do you? Who the fuck did they pick instead of Steph?
Flynn. His name.
Who the fuck is that anymore? Like, I don't even remember who that is. Man.
His first name. Just remember his last name was Flynn, and I believe he's probably overseas now.
Oh man! Please tell me Phil Jackson wasn't around when that shit happened, was he?
No, that was back in 2009 when Steph was drafted. So no, yeah, that was the Blake Griffin draft. So yeah, no, that wasn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, Phil, we won't get on you and your whack ass GM skills.
Yeah, the best thing he did was drafting Porzingis with the Knicks.
The only good thing he did.
Yeah, I just knew that the dude didn't even want to travel on the road except it was going to be to LA so that he could get a little tail from the magic genie there. If you smell what I'm cooking.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Back to your point though. You make I interrupted you.
No, you're good. Like it's just we bullshitting right now. I think we went off topic a while ago, anyways. But no, I think Draymond looks at Kevin Durant. He's the best player, and he was always touted to be great. Like maybe he resents him for that. And plus, like I said, you're just talking about two, especially Draymond, but two of the most emotional people in the league. You're talking about two of the most emotional people in the NBA. Like Kevin Durant, like after he made the decision, didn't he say he stayed in bed all day because he just I don't know what the fuck. And Draymond, who's a live wire. He's going after the coach too, and he's always doing shit like that. He's getting suspended in the finals, and they suck. Yep, we won. Yep, they win. No. Like Draymond.
Yeah, that was childish of him.
Oh yeah. And I don't mind the pettiness after you win, but you put a target on himself. But and then he used his speech from the first championship with Durant to go off on LeBron, and it's just like, okay, who they work together, which is just the weirdest thing to me. But nonetheless, but yeah, you have two of the most emotional people in the league with these two guys. I'm not gonna say that it's anything huge right now, but this has the potential to trickle down.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, and then if it's true, that Durant said, "This is why I'm out," I think he meant that shit.
I mean, remember what David West said. Remember, David West said, like, y'all have no idea what's really going on in this locker room. Like, and this was after they just won the championship. David West said that. So, maybe this was foreshadowing what he said. And, I mean, look, Draymond seems like he is the glue guy, but at the same time, he can be, if he just goes way over the edge, like maybe the organization has emboldened him too much, because we know the owners love him and everything like that. Like the fact that he's going after, that he has a history of going after Steve Kerr, it's like, well, maybe they should have reined him in before, or who knows? Like, who knows? I just know that this with Durant is the priority with the Warriors, as he should be. And Draymond's also thinking about his contract too.
Yeah, I'm taking KD over Draymond Green any day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing right now, I'm looking at this Bleacher Report article, and it says, Anonymous Warrior says, no way Kevin Durant re-signs after Draymond argument.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought Durant might leave anyways, but I thought maybe that they had the chance for him to opt in for one more year, because that's what his contract is. And I didn't know that they were moving into the new arena and everything yet, so I changed some of my predictions. So he may opt in, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, I know these are emotional guys, but these are men. You know what I'm saying? Men, we get into arguments. You know what I'm saying? I think they should just slug it out real quick, honestly. If it's still lingering, just let them slug it out and just be over with it, It's just one of those things. I don't. I'm not sure that this is going to be a problem, but I don't want to see it end this way. But you remember you remember the 04 Lakers, right?
The 04 Lakers. They had who aren't wait.
That was
no. Oh, you mean with Karl Malone?
Yes.
Gary Payton, and they fucking lost to the Detroit Pistons.
Yes, I remember I was 13 years old that year, and I didn't have a lot of comprehension of a lot of things outside of tits and ass, right? So I just remember everything that went down that year, and it started early. Shaq and Kobe, despite winning together, I really thought I didn't know what was going to happen between those two. And then you had Kobe with his off the court issues, and Malone was trying to fuck Kobe's wife and everything. And Gary Payton pissed off Derek Fisher by taking his starting role. And it's just like, I was shocked that team made it to the finals in the first place. You know, even though Minnesota only had Kevin Garnett, I was shocked. I'm not.
Oh, Minnesota put up a good fight too. They had Troy Hudson. A lot of people don't remember him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they put up a good fight.
And they did. But then when it got to the finals, they ran up against a team that was ready to take on their insecurity. Like Chauncey Billups says that, you know, we wanted Kobe to take as many shots as possible because we couldn't stop Shaq. And like I said, if they don't nip this in the bud, I just feel like that's one of those things that can happen where you're on the verge of making history and you screw everything up. Like, they can be beaten by a smart team. Like, what if they get to the Celtics in the finals? Because remember, the Pistons smoked the Lakers that series. Had it not been for Kobe in Game 2, the Lakers would have been swept that series. And I know this is way down the line, and this is just, okay, these are just a couple regular season games in Atlanta and the Clippers, but it can be bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of drama going on with not only Golden State, but several different teams that I didn't think would go down, and it's very early. So I feel a little better being a Bulls fan, right, looking at these other teams.
Right. Nuggets fan here. Our chances.
Oh yeah, the Nuggets. I mean, if IT comes back and he's good to go, man, you be in an even better place.
Oh yeah.
So,
but you know what this whole Warriors thing also shows to me is that Steph Curry might be the MVP. If he can come back and play like he was playing before he went down with his groin injury, he can win the MVP because they are not holding it together right now. They should have smoked the Clippers. They should have smoked Atlanta, and they just got destroyed by the Rockets tonight.
Right.
Steph Curry might be the MVP because, I don't know if you saw this. They're actually going to start bringing him along on the trips while he's healing so that he can be a peacemaker to these guys. What?
That says a lot. And that's a true leader. That's a true leader, man.
Oh, yeah,
and you can see, for those who didn't see the game tonight, Houston destroyed Golden State, and Draymond Green, Mr. We don't need you, we won before you got the fuck here, he had 0 points.
Yes.
You don't win games by having 0 points. Like, even if the game ends fucking 0-2, you gotta score.
Yes, you
gotta score those 2 points, or at least a free throw. Draw a free throw, hit one free throw. Damn.
Exactly. Or in this case, 29 free throws. Come on, Draymond, where were you? We needed you. And like I said, the thing about Draymond Green is, like, I like the intensity that he plays with, but he's prone to doing stupid things. Like, you got to wear a cup when you're playing against this guy. Like, I remember 2016, he just went on his nut kicking spree. Like, I don't remember how many dudes he gave low blows to, but it was getting embarrassing to watch. And, like, if Draymond Green, like I said, I admire his passion, his intensity. I like that he's always willing to talk to the media and everything. He's probably the best defender in the league. No, Kawhi Leonard is the best defender in the league, but he's a top 5 defender in the league. So But like I said, they're not going to give him the max contract. I don't care if Kevin Durant was there or not. Golden State is not going to give Draymond the max contract, and maybe that's going to eat at him some. Maybe because when he says we won, he says we won before, maybe he's feeling insecure about his place. Maybe because he knows that he's the odd man out. If Draymond Green wasn't part of the Warriors or over the past few years, if he wasn't part of the Warriors or like let's say a member of LeBron's team, if Draymond Green had been in Charlotte like the past few years, like we've even heard of him? Not really. Like so
because you think about some of the good, really, really good players that have came and gone to Charlotte. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody gave a fuck. I mean, you had Wallace.
Yep.
You had who's that top player right now? You got the kid Kemba Walker. Yes. Only time you heard his name a lot was Kemba Walker might sign with the Cavs. He might be Kyrie's replacement. Exactly. And then you never heard shit else after LeBron up and went to LA.
Exactly. Which is sad because I like Kemba Walker, but yeah. Even though, like I said, Michael just needs to pay him and let him ball out, just let him be the Hornets all-time points leader and everything like that. But yeah.
Yeah, so Draymond, I always kind of felt like he would lead to the self-destruction of the Golden State Warriors. And yep. I thought it would either be him or Clay would realize his worth and just become, his own man and lead his own team. I thought something like that would eventually happen.
Clay doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. Clay Thompson, he strikes me as the kind of guy who he's low ego. Like he's gonna want to get paid. He's gonna want to get the max or something close to it. So he's not gonna take another huge pay cut. But Clay Thompson strikes me as the kind of guy who's chill. He likes to smoke his weed. He likes to bang his little Instagram girls. He likes to hang out with his dog, and just kind of he's comfortable in his position. He doesn't strike me as the type who has this burning desire to go lead a team. Like he is. I mean, Scottie did have this desire, but he is kind of like he is the Scottie Pippen to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Jordan. He's like I said, he's very comfortable in his role. He likes his role. He just strikes me as that type. Like he's like I said, give me a blunt, a couple Instagram models, my money, and my dog, and I'm good.
But here's the thing: what if he wants the big money, but if guys don't keep taking pay cuts, then how can they pay off for these guys?
Well, I don't think
the money that they
want to pay off for these guys. I think Durant's gone, and I thought this before the Draymond thing. And if it comes to giving Draymond the max or not, I think Draymond's going to have to look elsewhere. So you may just be talking about just a return to the Splash Brothers, honestly. Like that new arena is going to be Steph and Clay, and I think Steph is going to retire young anyway. So
you're gonna need but this is the thing though, you're gonna need a Draymond for them to keep winning championships. Because he's bailed them out a lot.
He's always willing to take the best player because he can legitimately guard all five positions at a high level. Not the LeBron narrative that they spun for years because LeBron can't guard centers, but he can legitimately guard all five positions when you need him to, right? So yes, you do need a Draymond Green. However, we have to see if this really becomes a problem. That's why I say if this is still a problem by like Christmas time or January or the All-Star break, then yes, I think you can see. I think maybe it just depends. If Durant really has a reasonable a shot of staying, right? If Durant is really going to stay, and you already have Curry signed, you're going to need to keep Clay, and if you're going to keep KD, Draymond is the odd man out. And they'll try to replace him or try to get a couple pieces as good as him. Look, there's other really good defenders in the league, and maybe you can develop a good defender. Who knows? but I think that Draymond is the odd man out. I think that they'll look at their run because they already don't take the regular season that seriously. So they'll look at their run and be like, oh, we've won 3 of the last 4 championships. We do want to win another championship for the new arena, for the new San Francisco people, maybe, but and I don't know how that's going to work. So I think Draymond is the odd man out.
Here's my prediction, and I hate to be a guy that predicts like something that's negative as a major injury, but I think what's going to happen is Steph Curry is going to suffer a major injury,
probably,
and that is going to lead to the Warriors not being the favorite to win a championship this season. And they ultimately aren't going to win. And Kevin Durant is going to leave. I think he's not going to go to the freaking Lakers. He's going to go back to Oklahoma because each guy who is not genuinely a bad guy, they eventually get tired of all these insults and being trolled, and they're sensitive as fucking emotional like he actually is.
Yeah.
He's going to go back to OKC.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure he's been watching them. And George can play the 2. KD can play the 3. Westbrook played the 1 as usual. And I think that's what it is going to end up being. KD going back to OKC. The original core group of Golden State stays intact. But maybe Draymond still leaves. Who knows?
You know what I think? I think that Durant goes east. Now, I think he either goes to New York or Boston. Hopefully. I don't want him to go to the Lakers, but I think he goes east. I think he goes to New York or Boston. So LeBron is signed in LA for after this 3 more years. So they'll definitely play up on either the Lakers-Celtics rivalry, or they'll play up on, oh, look, we have a superstar in New York and we have a superstar in LA. Please, let's get them to the finals. Please, please, please. So they can do that. That's where I think he goes. I don't think he goes back home. I don't think it's not. That's the one thing he won't do, like LeBron. If he does that, I'll officially call Kevin Durant a LeBron stan if he does that, because LeBron is actually from the area, and he promised. He made the promise, the infamous promise: I will bring a championship to this city. And with the history of Cleveland and the 8 trillion years without a championship, and he's being from there and the decision and everything. Remember those god awful commercials when LeBron came back in 2015, where he like hugged the ball and the entire city came around and hugged him and embraced the rest of the team and everything like that. No, the team was in a huddle, and then the rest of the city came by and embraced the team in a huddle and everything. They were the most nauseating bullshit commercials that I have ever seen from him.
Corny as fuck.
And
very corny,
super corny, and I don't think.
And maybe I'm wrong, but didn't he say he was not leaving again?
He might have. I always knew that was a crock of shit.
Like, why rip this shitty town's heart out twice?
The thing about it is, when he came back, when he won the championship in 2016, I knew, because he had to. LeBron still has aspirations for the Ohio area. When he was in Miami, LeBron still had aspirations for the Ohio area, and he needed to come back to Cleveland to reingratiate himself with the community. And once he won the championship, he's gold. He's gold there. LeBron James in a couple years, I think, will maybe, I don't know this for sure, but you hear inklings. LeBron James will probably try to enter the political realm. And could I see him trying to be like a mayor or a governor, a mayor of Akron, or just the governor of the state and everything like that? And I'm just like, that's what people vote on, is popularity like that. And so he did that because he had other things he needed to do in that community. So when he came back, I knew he was going to leave again. Like, I thought he was going to leave right after the championship, but I figured, okay, fine, he's got to win a couple more. That was his plan anyways. That's why Golden State fucked up his legacy. But that was his plan anyways. So, but I knew he was out. I didn't know it would be to the Lakers necessarily. Uh, but, he has plans in the entertainment field too. So, but now people can blame the owner. When he won the championship, he can blame the owner. He can say, well, he didn't give me enough help. He got rid of Kyrie when I didn't want him to, even though you were shopping to get Kyrie traded. Like I said, he's like, there might be some other people that are still mad at him, but you saw them give him a standing ovation. They knew he was done after the finals this year. They knew he was done. When they got swept.
Let me ask you this. If, let's say, if Golden State did not lose to the Cavaliers that season, the 73-game win season, if they didn't lose to the Cavs, do you think KD still would have went to Golden State or been recruited by Draymond?
They've still been recruited, yes, but not as, like I said, when they lost that series, they officially had rent in their head. They had space in their head for rent. Like, you cannot come back from when you choke like that. It's in your head. If the Falcons were to ever play the Patriots again relatively soon in a Super Bowl, they're going to be thinking they could be up 30-0, and they're going to be thinking, oh shit. Like, that was it. The Cavaliers had space in the Warriors' head. Like, it was done. So they needed Kevin Durant just to be like, okay, we have the edge in our favor. So, no, he wouldn't. Had they won the 73-win season, if they had won the 73-win season, the championship, and let's say they would have done it in 5 games like they were primed to do, right? Steph Curry would be considered the best player in the league. He probably would have won another MVP the next season. So he probably would have done the Larry Bird thing, won 3 straight MVPs. And the NBA would be totally different because who knows what LeBron would have done out of desperation. Because you remember the the Martin Luther King Day game with the Warriors and Cavs in 2016, right?
What happened in that game?
That was the game. David Blatt was still the coach, and the Warriors were decimating the Cavaliers. There were 2 moments in that game that stuck out to me. Steph Curry was driving to the basket. LeBron just throws him on the ground. I didn't know what the hell he was doing. He was just upset because
I remember that.
Threw Steph Curry to the ground, and you could tell he was upset because this guy was taking his shine, leading vote getter in the All-Star game. They're saying he's the best player. We've never seen anything like him. And at 6'3", he's dominating the league. And so he threw him to the ground. Steph Curry gets back up, doesn't make a big deal out of it. And on the next play, he hits a 3 right in LeBron's face. And so they blow them out. And on the bench, you see LeBron just jacking his jaw to Tyronn Lue. And I remember I told my mom, I was sitting next to her watching that game. I said, their coach is about to get fired. And then a few days later, David Blatt was fired. So So LeBron was desperate. So had they lost to the Warriors again, and had they lost in 5 games, because they were up 3-1, so let's say they finish them out at home in Game 5, right? If they lost in 5 games, and Klay Thompson still says, well, he got his feelings hurt, and this is a man's game, et cetera, and everything like that, LeBron would have gotten desperate. Maybe he would have recruited Kevin Durant.
Probably, man. I mean, who knows? Because these guys form these friendships and they get to know each other's families and all. We're close. We're all buddies. We're super friends. Yep. So there's no telling who's going to team up with each other in the future. We're going to see some more super friend teams, and then we're going to find out, oh, well, he was in his wedding. Yep. Oh, he was his. That's why I love any rivalry that I can, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate any rivalry that happens, because it's rare these days that it's genuine.
It is. It's so sad. Like, Because remember, they for some reason just released the full audio of Kevin Durant and LeBron rapping together from 2011. So like, there's always been a frenemy thing there. I'm with you, man.
Oh yeah, they released that on SoundCloud, and I'm like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah, that shit was.
And it didn't sound that bad, but
I didn't want to hear it though.
Yeah, it wasn't Lonzo Ball, man.
No, oh God, oh my Lord. Thank God for Damian Lillard. Remember when Kobe tried to rap? Oh,
that was
Kobe was kind of a dork when you think about it.
Didn't he say he was the poetic gangster or some shit?
Kobe, like, yes, he did. And remember, he pronounced Italy. He said Italy. Just the way he said that was just. Kobe, like when he came into the league, he had the shaved head, and he's like, "Oh, he's like Jordan." He's like, "No, I'm not like Jordan." So he tries to change people's minds by growing an afro. He has a very interesting rap career. He gives himself his own nickname twice, mind you. He got two-pieced by Chris Childs. I don't know about Kobe sometimes. I love it.
Did he ever explain the number 24?
He said it was because it was like his old high school number or something like that. I didn't buy it.
Wasn't he number 33?
Was he 33? What was the explanation for that? Some people were saying it was because when he changed it from 8 to 24, it's because, well, he has 3 championships. 3 times 8 is 24. I know why he did it. I don't know why he said he did it, but I know why he did it.
Kanye West said, 24, 1 over Jordan or something
Trying
like
to get that Kobe number, 1 over Jordan. Like, I know why. We know why he did it. I don't know why Kobe said he did it, though. That man is something else, man. I miss Kobe.
Yeah, he actually there's a Kobe book that was just released a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I still haven't picked it up yet. But you remember that photo shoot that he did in the all white?
Oh wait, what was the location, or what was it? Slam magazine?
No, it wasn't Slam magazine. It was some fashion magazine. You got to look up these pictures, man. Kobe did a photo shoot, like he was just wearing all white, and it was a white background. It was just the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen him do. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, there's nothing. Just look up Kobe all white on Google, and you'll just get no other question in your mind like, then what the fuck was he doing?
So who do you think has the better chances of rocking an LA uniform next year, Laker uniform next year? Kobe Bryant or Kevin Garnett? I said Garnett. Kevin Durant.
Kobe or Kevin Durant? Well, I think Kobe's pretty much done, so I will say.
I mean, not according to Shaq.
Man, Shaq be talking, man. Shaq is something else, man. I love that guy. He's he's one of the biggest underachievers in league history, but he is funny as fuck.
You said Shaq is an underachiever?
Yep, absolutely.
Well, yeah, I think he could have achieved more, but he still achieved a lot.
Shaq is still a top 10 player to me. He's still in my top 10, but Shaq should be in the GOAT conversation, and he let a lot of bullshit get in his way. That's probably why
he was out of food.
Yeah.
He let food get in his way.
Yes, he did. But remember, he had his issues with Penny. Which were lower key, but then he had his issues with Kobe. He finally straightened out when he got to Miami, and he realized, oh shit, if I get into this petty bullshit with Dwayne Wade, that's not going to look good for my legacy. And like you said, he just got fat. He admits that he didn't practice hard, that he didn't take care of himself, he didn't take it seriously enough, and yeah, he gained a lot of weight, which helped him short term, which is why his peak was so great. But it cost him long term. Feet injuries, knee injuries, and he didn't take it seriously enough.
Not at all. Yeah. And I think that is why the Warriors are so great, because they got these 4 core guys who, they work hard. They party and shit, but they don't do the hardcore things these old school players used to do. Oh
no. It's like wrestling, man. Like, you hear those old stories about wrestling, like the party shit that some of those guys used to do. It's nothing like that now. It's video games and health now. They take care of their
Right.
bodies more than ever. Like Michael Jordan smoked cigars before every game, or just about every game. He says now he smokes 6 cigars a day now.
Damn.
Yeah,
And
right.
his favorite food was McDonald's chicken nuggets.
and Caucasian women, sir. And don't forget the Caucasian women.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Juanita, but it's true and you know it. But I agree. It's a different day and age. Like, you know, LeBron spends $2 million on his body per year organically. Sorry. Yes, he spends that money on his body per year, and you know, Steph Curry's in great shape, and these guys. This is just
Steph is just so fragile, though. It's I don't know. He plays a certain factor in this because, like, not intentionally, but like I said, Steph is one big injury away from this thing collapsing.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they need this guy to come on the road while he's rehabbing.
Exactly.
To keep them, to babysit them.
Which is
so if he ends up saying, you know, I'm fed up with this shit, I'm staying at home, fuck it. I mean, they're fucked. Steph goes down with a major injury, Golden State is fucked. And I don't care how good KD is and how much Clay steps up. They're not winning the championship without Steph.
Oh, no. They're not the same team without Steph. They can still win games, but they're not the same team without Steph. They can't win a championship without him. And I agree with you. Like Steph, unfortunately, he's had a history of ankle injuries and just leg injuries and everything like that. It's sad, but I've said before, I think he's going to retire within the next 2 to 3 years. I think he needs.
And why do you say that?
I don't think Steph Curry is built to play 20 years. He's not LeBron. He's not Kareem. He's not Karl Malone. He's won his championships. I think he just wants that finals MVP that he should have won in 2015. But he wants that finals MVP to really just put a seal on it. And I think and that's another thing to look out for. If they win the championship this year and Kevin Durant wins the finals MVP again, don't be surprised to hear some reports about Steph not really wanting Durant to come back. I'm just saying. But Steph,
I don't know. I don't think his ego is that big. Like one thing about Steph, he's probably, I don't know, before this bad guy shit he's faking horribly. He came off as the most humble player in history since Derrick Rose, honestly. This bad guy shit he's doing nowadays, that shit is a work. Like that's not him.
I think that Steph Curry off the court, I think that I agree. I think he is genuine off the court, but I think that Steph Curry on the court is. I think he is I think, you know, one thing I will say, Nick Wright, before he became full-on Warriors hater, this is when they were in the middle of the 73-game season. Nick Wright said Steph Curry is the most arrogant player since Michael Jordan. And I thought about it, like Steph, he has no problem hitting the three and then running away. And this is before the bad guy stuff. He has no problem hitting the three and just kind of running away before it goes in and just looking at the bench and shimmying and everything like that. He does play with an arrogance, but I think he's always been able to divide the two. But I just think it's a possibility. But I do think Steph is going to retire in 2 to 3 years' time. I don't think he's built to play 20 years, and I think he's going to look at his leg injuries and be like, okay, I'm already the best shooter ever. I think he's a top 20 player. I think he wants the finals MVP to really just put a seal on it. I think when it's all said and done, he'll probably be the second best point guard of all time.
Who's number one? Magic?
Oh, of course. By a comfortable margin, mind you. Magic is, that's why I have Magic as the second best player of all time too. But yeah, I think Steph's just gonna look at these things and just be like, okay, I'm good. I think he'll want to end his career He'll play a couple seasons in the new building and then just kind of be like, okay, I maybe another injury to his ankles, and he'll just be like, I just kind of want to just kind of chill out now.
So you saying 2 kids later, Steph might hang it up?
I think so.
Him and his girl are building an army, it appears, but
I thought he had 4 kids. Isn't Patrick Mahomes Steph Curry's kid too?
oh my god, what?
I thought Patrick Mahomes was Steph Curry's kid. I guess I was wrong.
What the fuck?
Patrick Mahomes.
No,
I thought that was his.
I think Kermit the Frog is Mahomes' dad.
Oh damn, he's got those Miss Piggy genes. Oh man, he better stay away from them skillets, man. Ooh, that shit ain't gonna work out for him. Bless his heart.
Oh, one player that we forgot to mention. You know, when we say core of the Golden State Warriors, I think we and others forget to mention Andre Iguodala.
I agree with that.
Because remember, you mentioned Steph Curry not winning Finals MVP. The 2 last times Kevin Durant won it.
Yep.
The first time, Andre Iguodala won it.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. Iguodala is a key part of this team. He's not a starter anymore, but he can come off the bench and give you valuable defense, a big play here and there. I still think Steph should have been the Finals MVP in 2015.
But he didn't play up to his full potential, and LeBron they wanted to give it to LeBron. I wouldn't be mad if they did, because he led in every stat. Like when it came to both teams, LeBron led in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
Well, okay. So here's the thing about that 2015 Finals, just really quick. I agree. They wanted to give it to LeBron. So the reason they gave it to Iguodala is like, oh, well, let's just give it to the guy who defended him. Now, Steph Curry, what happened to him was he was not the same after he fell on his head in Houston. He was having a great playoffs. Then he fell on his head in Houston, and he was just a little shaky. And I agree. In the finals for the first 2.5 games, he and especially game 2, he was awful in game 2, and that's the worst part of Steph Curry's legacy. He'll always give you one bad finals game, except for 2017. But like, he was terrible in game 2. However, at the end of game 3, when Cleveland went up 2-1, Steph Curry, like I said before, something just woke up in him, and he's just like, oh wait, shit, I'm in the finals. I better do something. and game 4, 5, and 6, he played fantastic in those games, and I just thought he was really the difference maker, because game 4, especially, LeBron did not play well in game 4, and that could have swung the series. If LeBron does his thing in game 4, that's a 3-1 series. And the Warriors at that time were not.
Oh, you kind of going out.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. But yeah, I just think Steph was just really the difference.
Wait a minute, you going out again?
Uh-oh.
All right, now you back.
All right, just let me know if I go out again. But yeah, Iguodala is valuable, no doubt about that.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, my Illinois boy, Sean Livingston.
Oh yeah, I thought his career was done. I really did. When he broke his leg, I just thought, damn. But he's come back and he's been very valuable off the bench.
The Warriors, the other players from the Warriors don't get enough credit, man. Like, if those key guys, those key reserves leave, that would definitely lead to an implosion of the Warriors as well.
Oh, no doubt. You need Iguodala and Livingston and Patrick McCaw. I understand that they got Boogie Cousins instead of JaVale McGee, which is an upgrade. But JaVale McGee was really good for the Warriors.
They should
And
have kept him. They should have kept him. And Boogie should have re-signed with New Orleans or just sat out or went elsewhere. Because it's like, if you look at JaVale over in LA, he's doing pretty well.
he's their second leading scorer in LA.
He's the second leading scorer?
JaVale McGee is the second leading scorer for the Lakers.
That's crazy.
Yes. Like, Mr. Shaqtin' a Fool is the second leading scorer on LeBron James' team. Like, yeah, I agree. He was a very valuable piece for the Warriors. And yeah, I like I said, you need a good team around you. You need good role play around you in order to really succeed. And they need to make sure that they don't get too top heavy.
Yeah, it's a revolving door for some people, and it's not even by choice for some. And it's some guys they should have kept, and they're gonna regret it in the end.
Oh yeah, it's no question about it.
Because if Boogie goes down again, I mean, that could bite them in the ass.
Oh, absolutely. Now
Houston had them shook.
Oh, yes, they did. Yes, I agree. Like, and Houston almost won Game 7, but Mike D'Antoni again fails to get to the finals because I'm never going to forget that Game 7. I don't know how you missed 25 threes in a row. That was some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life.
Well, James Harden, man, I don't know. I don't picture him ever winning the championship, to be honest.
I can't stand James Harden. Ugh, I hope he doesn't.
Why is that?
I can't stand anything about James Harden. I can't stand his beard. I can't stand the way he dribbles. I can't stand his face. I can't stand his socks. He's the most annoying player in the league to me. I can't stand his traveling. I can't stand his gut. Everything about him. I cannot fucking stand that guy. He annoys the shit out of me. That's why I call him Jimmy Hard-On, because he stiffens up in the tight moments, man. That's why I'm just, I don't need to see his ass win a championship. I can't.
Can you picture KD going over to Houston?
No, I don't see that happening.
James Harden, that's one of his boys.
I mean, yeah, but that was a long time ago. Like, James Harden was gone, like, immediately the year after the finals, right? In 2012. I mean,
it wasn't really by choice, though. He just wanted more money, and they chose Ibaka over him.
Yeah, Serge Ibaka. I remember that guy. I don't see that being any sort of factor. I really think KD is going to the East Coast, either Boston or New York. I hope not.
Nobody's going to New York, man. We've been hearing that for how long?
True.
Was it since the 90s?
It's been a while. But, every free agent was going to L.A. too. But they finally got LeBron, so maybe New York finally gets their
guy. It's possible.
But, I think the 90s set a bad precedent for the Knicks. I think the 90s showed that superstars would rather put on great performances against the Knicks than playing for them. Like, one of the biggest part of Michael Jordan's legacy is that he had all those epic games against the Knicks on the biggest stage. Like, Reggie Miller is known as the Knick Killer. Like, Reggie Miller from Indiana had all these great moments, especially the 8 points in however many seconds against the Knicks in the Garden. So I agree with you that I think the 90s just set a precedent that no. We want to beat those guys in that building as opposed to going to play in Madison Square Garden. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Knicks, at this point, the Knicks are like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. You hear, oh, this is America's team, and you're like, how the fuck are you America's team and you're never winning shit?
It's the Mecca. The Mecca.
It's like, and then we got guys making huge plays and then standing on the star. That is the equivalent of guys dropping 50 at the fucking Garden.
Exactly. What's the game that made Steph Curry a star when he dropped 54 against the Knicks?
That's a shame. That's a damn shame, man.
It's I'm telling you, man, that building is something else. That building was just built for road performances these days. Like Willis Reed and Clyde Frazier, that shit is done, man. Like nah, that was built for road performances. And so, yeah, I agree with you in theory, but hey, you hear that Durant and Kyrie want to go to New York, so fuck it, we'll see with that.
That's not gonna happen. But yeah, over the next couple of weeks, we'll see how it plays out with Golden State. I mean, if it continues to be shit like KD only dropping 20, and I know that sounds crazy, only dropping 20, but yeah, tonight he only dropped 20, and Draymond only had, I keep saying only had, but this fucker had 0 points.
Only had 0 points.
He had 0 points.
I want to start seeing it like the NFL. You know how somebody just gets a huge sack, they get counted as having negative yardage for the day. I want to start seeing negative points in the NBA.
That's a fucking shame, man.
It is.
I know people are gonna see the title of this episode and say, "Oh, he's fucking jumping the gun." The implosion of the Golden State Warriors. But if I'm right, I'm gonna come back and say I told you fucking so.
Oh yeah. I will also be on the telling you so part. Yes. It's just yeah. I don't want to see it go out that way, but like I said, that's how the Lakers dynasty imploded, man. Like Shaq and Kobe should have won more rings, but like I said, I hate to, and I agree, this is way too premature, and trust me, I know all about premature, but I don't want to. This is how it starts. Like all we need now is just like stories breaking out of Boogie trying to like fuck Steph Curry's wife or something like that to really complete.
Oh shit!
Marcus tries to make some Boogie with Aisha. Like that's.
Oh my god! They would run with that shit and say it just like that.
Damn right, and I want all the credit too. Damn it.
Well, thanks, man, for coming through to the show.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for the invite.
Being a guest, gotta have you again, man. It was great having you on here.
Oh, sure thing. I'm ready to do this again. This was fun. I liked it. It was just nice shooting the breeze, and I look forward to being back.
Most definitely, man. Thanks. This is the Undiluted Podcast. This is JP signing out along with my homie Clayton. We'll be back again soon. Thank you for listening, people.